Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Insurgence. As you may see from the overlay, I goofed up and missed recording two encounters that we had, one being a Dusk Noir and a Mime Jr. The Dusk Noir we named Tyson, and he has the ability Pressure with the moves Nightshade, Astonish, Leer, and Disable. And we also got a Mime Jr. with decent IV and special attack with the ability Soundproof and the moves Confusion, Copycat, Meditate, and Double Slap, which we got in the Midna Mine. And we got the Dusk Noir in a cave on Route 1. We also got a few items, being the Relic Crown, Relic Statue, Draco Plate, and a Prism Scale. We then head back into the Midnight Cave to fight the first trainer there, and take him down with relative ease. He sends in a pretty cool looking Delta Golurk. We then move on to the second battle, which is also rather easy. Just Carablast and a Apom, so nothing crazy. We try and get Mimer some levels, but he's not very good, so we're gonna use Chocolate. Next trainer has a really cool Delta Metagross, which would be awesome to have, and we have a close call with Rosie. She goes down to 5 HP after being hit with the Steel move. And we see here for the first time that the level cap, right now it is at 17. Because the next big battles that we have are capped at 17, so that's going to be the tournament inside the school, the trainer school. We then fight the next few trainers. Nothing too crazy happens. Delta Groval's pretty cool, fighting normal type, I believe. And we make a big mistake here. I forget that Granville actually can learn Bite, and we almost lose Tyson. I then quickly switch out to Rosie and use Ominous Wind to pick up the KO, and switch back into Chocolate to finish off Wormadam. I was scared for a bit there because I wasn't sure what type it was. I thought maybe it might be Steel. Also, we then see this really cool Delta Aggron, which would have been so cool to have got instead of Mr. Mime Jr. We then fight the last trainer in the cave, who has a Frostlass, or the second last trainer in the cave, with the Frostlass and Staravia. And then we see a Shadow Mewtwo, which would be so cool to get. Like, I really want to get this at some point in our run, which would be awesome. Has Intimidate, which is a pretty good ability. And then we fight the last trainer here with a Galvantula and Grovyle, and we pick up the KO on both quite easily. And he sends in Shellos, which, again, pretty light work. We then go to Nora, who is the next main character in this, who's also a hero of a prophecy. She has the mythic legendary Celebi and is resurrecting fossils. So after this dialogue, we're gonna go around and pick up the fossils, which are gonna be random items. We get a Meadow Plate, a Persimberry, a Skull Fossil, which we might be able to revive later on, and a Freshwater. We then go back up and get into the tournament. We then see this Delta Hydreigon, which looks pretty cool. Must be like a ground type or something, because it was weak to Icicle Spear. We do Dark Pulse, and we pick up the easy KO on the first trainer. Then we're facing Damien. You know, I kind of regret not being so nice to him in the first route, because he gets his revenge in this battle. We use Icicle Spear on Basculin, which is not very effective and does a lot less damage than I would have hoped. We send in our Delta Rose Raid, which is just an absolute unit, to Dark Pulse, and that nearly picks up the KO. And we move on to his second Pokemon. Same Delta Hydreigon as before, although it's purple instead of green, so I'm thinking maybe instead of grass type before, it could be poison. I probably should have switched out here, seeing as it coiled a few times, but I go for Dark Pulse, and we lose our Delta Roserade, which is our hard carry. Now we might have a hard time in this battle, but I'll switch in our Cresselia, Psychic type, to take out his poison, if he is poison. He coils again. We go for Confusion, which is super effective. Luckily, he uses Bulldoze, which misses. And then he uses Poison Fang, which does a lot of damage, but we pick up the KO with Confusion. But we have lost now our second Pokemon in our run. He then sends in Banarius, last Pokemon, which we take out quite easily. Get the Confusion, use Psycho Cut, doesn't kill, but we pick it up with another Confusion. We beat Damien, but at what cost? We then go into the last battle, which is with Nora, which surprisingly is way easier than the battle with Damien. We use Icicle Spear, even though we're reduced attack. Chocolate's just an absolute unit, and we pick up the KO. He then sends in a Magnezone, which is not good. Steel Electric. Here I send in Tyson. Try and use some Nightshades to get him down a bit. He uses Thunder Wave though. We get paralyzed. And then he uses Magnet Bomb, which does a lot of damage. We use Nightshade again, but now we're gonna have to switch out. So I'd use a potion, but it only heals up 20, and Magnet Bomb was doing just about as much. We pick up the KO with we should have used Confusion there, but instead we use Psycho Cut. We Psycho Cut again and pick up the KO. Sends in Skitty. Skitty's not a problem at all. We use Confusion. And we pick up the KO. We then go back to the Pokemon Center to deposit our Delta Roserade into our PC. We won the tournament, but we lost our Delta Roserade, which is really sad, since it was probably one of my favorite Pokemon on our team. We get the TM Thunderbolt, which could be really good if we get like a good electric type later on. And then we were told to go to Sun-Touched City to get the first gym badge from the gym leader there. And Nora says that she's going to race us there, and then awkwardly asks Damien his name, and all she says is Damien. He then placed Rosie back in the box, and we need more Pokeballs for our next encounters, so we go and buy a few. We're starting to run a little low on money though, so I go and try and look at what it is that we can sell after buying a few more Pokeballs. Also pick up a couple potions just in case. They're not very useful, but better than nothing. We're gonna turn back around and sell because we don't really have a lot of money. We have this Relic Crown, so $300,000. What? Okay, well, we don't have to worry about money anymore. Let's sell that. And we've got this Relic statue too. I wonder how much that goes for. Relic statue, $200,000. We are now chilling at a fine $500,000. Like, okay, well, let's buy some more Pokeballs and some repels, and some potions, just everything because we can. Making sure to buy Pokeballs in 10 so we can get that extra Premier Ball. Mind you, now it doesn't really make that much of a difference. And then we go into Route 2 for our next encounter. get an Ultra Ball, which might be helpful. We're gonna switch Tyson to the front, so then we can hopefully use Nightshade to get whatever it is down. And it's a normal type, so we cannot, in fact, get him down with Nightshade. Chinchino. Could be decent. Puts us to sleep. We're down defense, which might not be good, but might not have any attacking moves. We throw a Pokeball. Shakes 3 times. Throw another Pokeball. Doesn't go in. Another Pokeball. Also, at this time, I had just finished watching three-way cage lock of some of my favorite YouTubers. If you know them, I'll add their links down in the description below. Original 151, Game Boy Luke, and United Gamer. And that's why I decided to name the Chinchino Mikasa. You'd know if you watched their latest episode, which I'll also link down below in the description. We then get a fishing rod, which we use to go and get our next encounter. We then start fishing for our encounter, we got the fishing rod from the old guy that was on the Route 2, and we get a Scyther. This could be really good. We now have like 2 mons that would be good for catching stuff, especially because this has False Swipe. We can put it to sleep with Chinchino and False Swipe it down to 1 HP with our Scyther. And then take a quick look at Chinchino, because I forgot to earlier. Has Timid, which is actually a decent ability, but it's a physical attacker, so maybe not. We switch in Chinchino to Sing It and put it to sleep. It gets a crit. Can't really kill us with False Swipe though, but it has Pursuit now. Another crit. I guess it Focus... What's that move called? Focus Energy? It used Focus Energy, so that's probably why it's getting so many crits, but still. Use a Potion. Another crit. We can't run or switch out because Pursuit will kill, because Pursuit does double damage when you switch out. Just gonna try singing. Puts him to sleep. We'll throw a Pokeball. 3 shakes. Sad. Switch out to Chocolate. It's a risk knowing he could Pursue, but he False Swipes, so we then throw another Pokeball and catch it. We decide to name this Slice. Also on the Pokedex entry it says it's the Mantis Pokemon, but then we go back to Telnor Town and waste a whole bunch of time trying to fish at this spot, but I don't think you can get an encounter here, and I just wasted a lot of time. We then go on Route 2 and see some grunts going into a Lucario temple. We then just sneak by and try and get another encounter, get a Wapier Berry. It's nothing special though. We then get a double battle, a Kabutops and a Snubbull. Not really much of a decision here. I decide that I'm gonna catch the Delta Kabutops and kill Snubbull. I decide to switch out to Chocolate to get the KO on Snubbull. I focus energy so that I can have a higher crit ratio, so then I can get the Kabutops lower faster with False Swipe. Icicle Spear to finish off the Snubbull. And now we have to get this Kabutops lower. That false swipe, though, did nothing, and it was a crit, so... I'm gonna try using Astonish with Chocolate. That does even less damage. But we go for a Tickle with Chinchino and Astonish again. The Kabutops uses Furry Swipes, which does 3 hits 3 times. If that hits 5 with a crit, we might die to that. But we're gonna keep using Tickle with Chinchino, so hopefully it doesn't do too much damage. We're gonna Tickle again. And Astonish now with Nightshade, actually, because Nightshade does exactly as much as whatever your level is, and so it's going to do exactly 17 damage. We're just going to throw a Pokeball here, put him asleep. Try another Pokeball. 3 shakes again. Another Pokeball. And this time we catch it. This is the Beetle Pokemon, but I think because his hands are like scythes, I decide to name this Mantis. I think it's quite fitting. Even though, as I said before, Scyther is the Mantis Pokemon, but... We then walk in on the Grunts that are trying to capture this Riolu. They're Abyssal, from the Abyssal Cult. We use Icicle Spear, do a good amount of damage to this guy's Death Skull. We then use Astonish, although we should have just used Icicle Spear again, but we pick up the KO. He then sends in Lunatone, which might be a problem. Cresselia can't really do a lot of damage. Slice doesn't have any crazy good moves. We're gonna go into Tyson and try using Astonish. It does a decent amount of damage, but that Psy Wave is just doing way too much. I don't want to risk a Shadow Sneak here. We might be able to pick up the KO, but I'm not sure. We switch into Mantis because he's dark bugs, so we'll definitely not get hit. And we use Fury Cutter to pick up the KO. He then sends in Loudred. We stay in and continue using Fury Cutter because it does more damage the more times in a row that you use it. Pick up the KO on Loudred. Then a Lucario comes with no trainer and Mega Evolves on its own, which kind of just defies what we know about Mega Evolution. Nora then reminds us that we're racing to Suntouch City, but we completely forgot about. We then go to fight this miner before we go into the cave to get our next encounter. He has an Apom. And switches into Servine with Baton Pass. Looks like maybe a Water Steel type. I send in Cresselia. Because no one on our team is really good for Water Steel. Still. Use Confusion. Get a crit. So. And we pick up the KO with Confusion. Chocolate levels up to 19. He wants to learn Avalanche. We get rid of Astonish because we don't really need it. We have it on Tyson anyways, and it's not really good on him anyways. He's sending in Hydreigon. What are the chances that it's a normal Hydreigon? So I'm going to send in Mantis for that dark type, and it's the ground type. Ooh, the ground poison, we're guessing. So I'm going to go back into Luna. Uses Coil. This is scary now. Has up accuracy and defense and attack. It gets the poison on us, which is not good. With Poison Fang. And I can't miss Poison Fang now either, really, because it has upped accuracy. And that Poison Fang is just going to be doing way too much damage. Maybe Chocolate might be able to take a hit or two. And gets the poison again. We can't use Avalanche because then we for sure go last. So we try and go with Icicle Spear, and it outspeeds us and kills Chocolate. We then send in Mantis, try and get something going with Fury Cutter. It uses Coil again. Fury Cutter does nothing. We get poisoned again. We get some good damage off though with Mantis. Mantis falls. We have Shadow Sneak though on Tyson. Maybe we can pick up the kill Shadow Sneak, but he's +2 defense, so it doesn't actually end up killing. So he's like 1-tap now. We just need someone who's gonna outspeed. Let's check for our Pokemon speed. Cresselia's 38. Scyther's 26. Let's go into Scyther. Okay, here, I thought False Swipe was Fury Swipe, so I got him confused with Mantis, and yeah. And we don't have speed, so we die. And now our last hope is Cresselia, because Mikasa doesn't have any attacking moves. He uses Poison Fang. And that's gonna be the run. And we send in Mikasa, but there's not really much she can do. He's on 1 HP. Oh, I feel so stupid. Oh yeah, that's the run. 7 deaths. Yay. Well, see you guys next time. We'll restart and try this again. Episode will be out. I'm gonna try for sometime next week, and see you guys then.